Now to the big news out of the ongoing war in Ukraine. The highest court at the United Nations is calling on Russia to stop its invasion and attacks. Today, President Biden called the Russian president a war criminal while promising to send $800 million in weapons to help Ukraine. This comes on the same day that Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky spoke directly to members of Congress, pleading for more help in his nation's fight.
I see no sense in life if it cannot stop the deaths. And this is my main mission as the leader.
Indiana's delegation in D.C. and the rest of Congress heard the president's plea.
And our Emily Longnecker spoke with Congressman Andre Carson about that call for help.
A standing ovation for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Strong doesn't mean weak. Strong is brave and ready to fight for the life of his citizens.
Among those watching and listening to Zelensky's impassioned speech, Indiana Congressman Andre Carson.
I commend him for his very courageous leadership at this time of crisis, not only for Ukraine, but for the entire world. You know, his speech really underscored the important role that the United States has to play in supporting Ukraine.
Zelensky stopped speaking and played a video showing images of a very different Ukraine 4 weeks ago. The video ended with Zelensky asking the United States to help close the airspace over the skies of Ukraine, something NATO and the United States has said it won't do.
I still think it would risk a direct conflict between Russia and our country, which could trigger World War III. I mean, I don't want American troops being brought into this war.
Instead, the U.S. and NATO have imposed economic sanctions on Russia and banned Russian oil imports to the U.S. President Zelensky asked lawmakers with companies from their states that do business with Russia to ask them to stop. 13 News reported this week that global engine manufacturer Cummins, one of Indiana's largest businesses that makes engines in Russia, continues to do so despite the Ukraine war. Congressman Carson said he spoke with Cummins a few weeks ago, but hasn't asked them to stop their operations in Russia.
We're not there yet.
Carson met with Ukraine's ambassador to the United States on Tuesday.
She acknowledged that we are an important and critical ally, but at the same time, she highlighted the fact that they need military aid and military support.
I want to begin by thanking President Zelensky for his passionate message this morning.
Hours after Zelensky's address to Congress, President Biden announced $800 million more in aid to Ukraine, and that includes drones, anti-aircraft systems, small arms ammunition, and other weaponry.
Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
Help, though, that stopped short of President Zelensky's top request for a no-fly zone or fighter jets to protect Ukrainian airspace and more deadly attacks from Russia.
And we also reached out to Congresswoman Victoria Spartz, who is from Ukraine. We wanted to get her thoughts on today's plea from the country's president. Tonight, we're still waiting to hear back from her.